So hello everyone, good evening to everyone present here. আমি আজিৰ পৰা বহুত এটা ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট সেশন আৰম্ভ কৰিবলৈ যাম after the grand success of Mahamarathon before the prelims, where many probable questions were basically given to us, or you can see that many questions were common from our particular Mahamarathon series. Okay, to ekhini korar pisot etia ami eta notun josh loi pelai aji ami tumalokor agot eta intensive mains answer writing skill development program eta start koribo ulaisu jot hodai ami eta pasta questions loi ahim. Okay, from GS1 to GS5. এনেকুৱা নহয় যে আমি এসে নকৰিম, আমি এসেও কৰিম, বাট সদায় পাঁচটা আমি কোয়েশ্চনস লম from GS1 to GS5 which will includes everything of every topic which have been covered under the syllabus of APSC mains. ঠিক আছে, তো তোমালোকে যদি ডেডিকেটেডলি ফলো কৰা this 5 questions regularly, devotedly যদি ফলো কৰা, I can guarantee you will have a success in your upcoming mains. June likhau nai ebar APSC prelims, when they are not expecting any of the results, maybe they will be attempting the next year. Tekhethokolor karoneo moi kobo bisarisu that this answer writing intensive session will be very helpful to you all. Tumalke jodi etiar pora eta strategy banai loa je eneke answer formats bur likhibo lage, eneke answer writings bur koribo lage, tumalke jodi eta strategy follow kori loa, it will be very important for you even to generalize what to write and what not to write. Keneke bhabibo lage ami ei gute bostu khini amar karone important hoi jay once you are associated with such number of questions. Kenekwa dhoroner questions hude, ki dhoroner questions hude, keneke hudibo, ki dimensionot bhabibo aru keneke likhibo parim. Okay, 753 rule ki hoy hedu jitu moi tumalok kom ei gute bostu khini tumalke ei gute intensive course sessionot paba. Yar uporeo এই পাঁচটা কোয়েশ্চন যেটো মই আমি রেগুলারলি লৈ আহিম, কোনোবাই যদি এই পাঁচটা কোয়েশ্চন আমাৰ ইয়াত ডিসকাস কৰাৰ পিছত আউট অফ দ্য ডিটেইলস, বিকজ উই উইল বি প্রভাইডিং ইউ এজ আ মডেল আনসার, আমি মডেল আনসারটো ডিসকাস কৰিম, মডেল আনসারত বহুতখিনি ডাইমেনশনৰ কথা পাতিম আমি, যত তোমালোকক হে সাবজেক্ট হে টপিকটো পার্টিকুলারলি কভার হৈ যাব. সো ইন দ্যাট ওয়ে কালি পৰহি যে তোমালোকৰ এই কোয়েশ্চনটো আকু তোমালোকে যদি এটা ওয়ার্ড লিমিট লৈ পেলাই লিখিব মন আছে, তোমালোকে লিখি আমাক যেটো তোমালোকৰ লিংক ডেসক্ৰিপশন সেকশনত তোমালোকৰ ইমেইল আইডি আছে তাতে আমাক পঠাই দিয়া উইদিন দ্য সেম ডে. আজি দিন সাপোজ ডে ডে 1 কালি দিনৰ 12টা লকে যদি তোমালোকে আনসার পঠাই আছা, আমি সেই আনসার গিটাকো চেক কৰি তোমালোকক দিম. দ্যাট ইজ বেসিক্যালি আ ওয়ার্ড ফ্রম CSAP. আমাৰ ফলৰ পৰা এটা ওয়ার্ড হয়টো. যদি আজি পাঁচটা আনসার যেটা ডিসকাস কৰিম, মডেল আনসার্স তোমালোকক দিম, তোমালোকে যদি এই বস্তুটো এই কোয়েশ্চনস বিলাক আকৌ এবাৰ লিখিব বিচাৰিছা, তোমালোকে কালি 12টাৰ ভিতৰত আমাক পঠোৱা, আমি তোমালোকক সেই কপিজ খিনি যিখিনি আহে টু আৰ ৰেসপেক্টিভ মেইল, আমি সেইখিনি চেক কৰি পেলাই আমি তোমালোকক পঠাম. ওকে, সো এটো এটা বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট এনাউন্সমেন্ট হয় ফৰ ইউ অল. ওকে, তাৰ ওপৰত ইউ ক্যান সি দ্যাট ইউ অলসো হ্যাভ আ ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰেচন ফৰ্ম below in the description section. তোমালোকে যদি বিচাৰা যে এই কপিজ বিলাক তোমালোকৰ চেক হক, তোমালোকৰ ভালকে ইভালুয়েশন হক, you can also register in this particular link that is given below. Okay, so as to get even the PDFs, register korilehe PDF kini bhalke paba. Okay, aru manhok ami janu je PDF is a very necessity, karon aji day 1 to pisot ami jodi kali porhi day 20 le paungoi, if you wants to revise the day 1, the PDF is very important. Okay, so তলত লিংক দিয়া আছে ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰেচন ফৰ্মৰ, হেতু তোমালোকে চাই লবা. তাৰ ওপৰত you can see that there are also some of the paid test series which are available for us. Okay, আমাৰ ফলৰ পৰা তোমালোকক দিয়া গৈছে পেড টেষ্ট সিৰিজ, যত তোমালোকে বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ কোৱেশ্চন পাবা, অকল পাঁচটাই নহয়, সেকশনাল ওয়াইজ মই ডিসকাস কৰিম অলপ পিছত, সেকশনাল ওয়াইজ ফুল লেন্থ এছে সবখিনি পাবা, উইথ ইভেন তোমালোকে যদি বিচাৰা কিছুমান ক্ষেত্ৰত তোমালোকে পাৰ্সোনাল গাইডেন্সও পাবা about how to write and attempt a respective question. Okay, কেতিয়াবা যদি বিচাৰা আমাৰ অফিস আহিবা, অফিস আহি পেলাই তোমালোকে ডাইৰেক্টলি আমাক মিট আপ কৰিব পাৰা so as to know about the strategy to write an answer. Okay, tar logot amar numbers bilak bahut ase. You can even write a number 9127515541. A number dot call kori pelai. You have to, if you have any queries related to the test series, tumaloke yate enquiry lobo para. Okay, so we will assure that we can give you the best of the best test series in the market. Okay, so you can see, yes, very good. So you can see that in this particular session, I can say that we will understand everything associated with the art of answer writing, about the strategies that you need to take once you are going ahead with your answer writing session. So today is day 1, myself Zepul Kalita. So I'll be starting you here with this particular session of yours. Okay, so আজি যিখিনি আমাৰ questions আছে, সেই questions খিনি আমি কৰ পৰা আনিছো? We have been from GS1, GS2, 3, 4 and 5 আৰু এইবিলাক আমাৰ respective topics হয়, যৰ পৰা আমি questions বিলাক উঠাইছো. Okay, modern Indian history question উঠাইছো আজি first এটা, second polity and governance উঠাইছো, mainly judiciary related. Okay, তাৰপিছত science and tech এটা উলাইছো in the fields of science, biotechnology. Okay, তাৰপিছত এটা ethics উঠাইছো আৰু lastত এটা personalities of Assam উঠাইছো. Okay, lastত এটা personalities of Assam উঠাইছো. Okay, so I welcome you all. So aru aha tumaluk, okay, so that you can participate, you can have an overall strategy to boost your confidence for your answer writing sessions. Okay, before going to this particular discussion, moi tumalok etu kobo bisarisilu about the 753 rule of answer writing. 753 rule of answer writing, very important. 753 rule of answer writing. Okay, ki karone koisu? Eta question you have to write in 7 minutes. One question, whatever question you are attempting, you have to write in 7 minutes. Okay, then write 5 points associated with that particular question. Okay, 7 minute tumaloke eta questionot logabo lagibo, 5ta tumaloke points bhabibo lagibo. And then 3, at least in 3 dimensions, you have to write the respective answer. 3 dimensions. 3 dimensions mane, eta hol socio-economic, eta hol political, aru antu hol geographical. 3ta dimension of jodi tumaloke question tour attempt loi asa, I can guaranteedly say you that this will be very much beneficial, aru ei bostu to multi-dimensional approach eta hobo tumalokor karone. Very, very important strategy that you need to take whenever you can directly say about the questions and its strategies. Okay, form fill up korilu, bahut badhiya. Okay, PDF kahan milega? PDF you will get in the description section once you register. Okay, so just go beneath, okay, the see more options, see more jaba, just click on the registration, fill up the form and then go ahead in collecting your PDF of today's day 1 questions as well as model answers. Okay, so I will be multilingual in nature. Okay, no issue. I will go ahead with English, Hindi as well as SMEs. Okay, so let's start with the first question of today. Okay, first question. Ki ase? Analyze the factors that contributed to the emergence and growth of working class movements across the world in the 19th and the 20th centuries. So this question is basically a question associated with modern history. Modern history. Okay, so yate mainly kihor kotha koise? The rise of the working class. So we can say that the modern working class in India, with the introduction of capitalism in the 19th century under colonial dispensation, so it was a modern working class and a sense of relatively modern organizations of labor which was intensively free from any form of market for labor. So আজি যদি মই এই questions to contribution কথা কবলে যাও, ইয়াত খুদিছে কি? Analyze the factors, very important. First dimension is that you have to look associated with the factors, then emergence and growth of what? The working class. The working class are basically the class which are associated with the labor industry. Okay, and across the world in the 19th and the 28th century. So at a key ase that the working class movement refers to organized efforts by workers to improve their economic and social conditions. These movements have a long history dating back to the Industrial Revolution in the 18th and the 19th centuries, when workers faced poor working conditions, low pay and exploitation by factory owners. Jodi moi aji he time tut gusi jaun. Okay, if I go to that back time of that period, I can say what? We know about that how the workers were treated during the time when this Industrial Revolution took some of the time period in this country to develop. So we all know that industrialization is in India. Okay, basically in the port cities like Bombay, Calcutta, Madras, okay, have the centers of the capitalist economy. Okay, we all know about the cotton mills in Bombay, jute mills in Calcutta, and several factories in Madras, which were set up in the 19th centuries and where the respective laborers were totally having a very rough life. Okay, so at some point of time, we can see that the emergence and growth of working class movements across the world in the 19th and 20th century were influenced by various factors including economic, political and social conditions. তেতিয়া দিনত গুটে ওয়ার্ল্ডত কি চলি আহিছিল লাহে লাহে এটা ক্যাপিটালিস্ট মাইন্ডসেটৰ এগেইনষ্টত কথা আহিছিল various theorists various number of theories যাৰ কাৰণে laborers or working class or মাজত এটা unity create হৈছিলে and this unity led to the formations of various forms and emergence of trade unions. So the trade unions emerged in India after World War I, and the main factors that were basically associated with trade unions were the rising prices, decline in the real wages, the conditions of the working classes. Eibilak kisuman amar reasons asile where we can see the rise of the trade unions. Okay, so yat hekhini kotha koa goise. Tarpsot ki koise? Factors that contributed, first ki hol industrialization, obviously very important. Okay, the growth of industry in the 19th century led to the growth of the working class. Jimane industries bahile, himane manhu kam kora tate bahibo nai, obviously bahibo. If I have got more and more number of industries, many people will directly come now to engage in this particular industries. Okay, so the workers were often subjected to poor working conditions, low wages and long working hours, which resulted in the emergence of the working class movements. And this ultimately led to some of the political unrest and repression. That is, in many countries, workers faced severe repression from governments, which led to the growth of trade unions and political parties representing the working class. Tar upor moi jitu kolu ideological and intellectual influences. Okay, so the workers of Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, who argued the abolition of capitalism and the establishment of a socialist society, provided theoretical framework for the organization and activities of the working class movements. So jimankhini concepts asile hedo time on. Okay, jimankhini concepts asile hedo time on. He concepts bilak through Karl Marx, through Engels, bahut khini propagation hoisile. Aru ei propagation to war karone we could see that there were various number of unions which was created, and for the formation of the International Labour Organization in 1919 acted as a catalyst of it. So the members selected from the AITUCU represented the Indian labor in the ILO, and there were various leaders who was involved in this particular ambit. It was Bal Gangadhar Tilak, it was NM Joshi, it was BP Wadia, it was Diwan Chamanlal, then we can see Chamanlal, then we can see Lala Lajpat Rai, we can see Joseph Baptista. So these were the peoples, and these were the leaders who were behind the formation of the AITUC. Mukwasun tumaloke, what is the full form of AITUC? AITUC full form ki? Muk tumaloke comment section not kwa. Everyone. I am fine. Very welcome. Mukwa tumaloke AITUC full form ki? Very importantly. Okay, so aji jodi moi kobole jao, Lala Lajpat Rai was the first person who became the president of this AITUC. Okay, and he was the first to link capitalism with imperialism. Okay, he was the first who linked capitalism with imperialism. Okay, so AITUC bonisil kihor karne? It was based on various social democratic ideas of the Gandhian philosophy of non-violence, trusteeship. Okay, aru Gandhian philosophy to bahut contribution ase AITUC logot. Okay, so muk tumalage kobo lage what is the full form of AITUC? Yes, Pavitra Pallabnath, very correct. All India Trade Union Congress. Okay, ebilak janibo lage its emergence. Muk koa je AITUC ketia form hoisile. Moi koi dilu ki the first president being Lala Lajpat Rai. But AITUC form ketia hoisile? Muk koa tumalage comment section. Okay, try to get involved in this particular answer writing session. Tabsot next ki kole urbanization. The growth of cities in the 19th and the 20th centuries led to the growth of the working class. The workers in cities were often concentrated in factories and other industrial establishments, which made it easier for them to organize and mobilize. Tarpusot kose expansion of democracy. The right to vote and the ability to form political parties provided an avenue for workers to push for their interests and make their voices heard. Judi mo eta political party ko. Political party kora agote there are also we can see various number of pressure groups which gets created. Pressure groups. Sometimes these pressure groups directly tends to form political parties. Okay, so at that period of time we can see that political parties often participate in the democratic process, and when this democratic process participation goes larger, we can even see the expansion of democracy. Okay, very good. 1920, very good. Okay, so we can see even globalization. Increasing interconnectivity of the global economy has led to the formation of international labor organizations and the emergence of transnational labor movements. Etia aji ami janu je whenever a labor from India tries to go and work in various other countries, so they have got some of the international labor laws, and through these international labor laws these labors are being protected in those countries. Aru he bostu tu even India follow koribo lagibo, because in India also various number of laborers directly come from different countries. Okay, so these things are very important whenever we are directly saying about globalization. Okay, next ki kole the emergence and growth of working class movements across the world in the 19th and 20th centuries were influenced by a complex set of economical, political and social factors, and the growth of industrialization, political unrest, ideological and intellectual influence, urbanization and expansion of democracy and globalization all played a role in the development of these movements. Very, very important. Okay, so ei gute khini jikhini ami factors decide korilu, ei gute khiniye contribute korisil kihot for the development of various organizations and also for the development and emancipation of various number of groups, which leads to the development of the movements associated with trade organizations. Okay, so ei bostu khini asile in relation to this particular question. Buji pala sobe? I hope this is all okay. To tumaloke ei details khini loi pelai jodi tumaloke kali by 12 PM in the daytime তোমালোকে যে কালি 12টাৰ ভিতৰত তোমালোকে ভাবিছা যে মই আৰু এটা ভালকে আনসাৰ লিখিবলা তোমালোকে আমাক দিব বিচাৰিছা, যাৰ ইভালুৱেচন লাগে তোমালোকে আমাক পঠাব পাৰা ইন আ মেইল which has been mentioned below. Okay, so মনত ৰাখিবা তোমালোকে, very important. Next কি কৈছে, what do you understand by judicial review in the Indian context? How does it help in maintaining the constitutionality of the nation? কিহৰ কথা আহিলে ইয়াত? Saying about judicial review, very, very important term, judicial review. Ki hoy judicial review? What is the basis of judicial review? So, Indian constitution a judicial review to bostu to kor pora anise. It basically came from American constitution. Okay, both important ebilak factors de likhi loba ebilak tumaloke hudi dibo keteba kiba kothat aru amak lageo ebilak bostu judicial review. Okay, muk kunbai ko paribo neki is judicial review is a part of the basic structure or not? Ko paribo kunbai muk? Is judicial review a part of the basic structure of not? Kunbai khuma ko paribo? Is judicial review a part of the basic structure or not? If someone wants to tell, you can directly participate. So here ki koise, the judiciary has the authority to review the constitutionality of laws and executive orders at both the central and the state levels. If they violate constitutional provisions, court may declare them illegal, unconstitutional and invalid. Judicial review. Okay, very, very important in terms of judicial review. So আজি যদি মই judicial review কথা কওঁ, judicial review কি হয়? It is a type of court proceeding in which a judge reviews the lawfulness of a decision or action made by the public body. So therefore, in other words, I can directly say that judicial reviews are a challenge to the way in which a decision has been made rather than the right and wrongs of the conductor's reach. Okay, so আজি যদি মই এই কথাটো ক'বলৈ যাওঁ about judicial review, it is a instrument of the judiciary to control the respective government in doing some illegal business. Okay, okay, yes. যিকেইটা yes কৈছে সেইকেইটাই মোক ক'ব পাৰিব নেকি যে জুডিচিয়েল ৰিভিউ কোনটো কেছৰ আণ্ডাৰত সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্টে এইটো বেছিক ষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰৰ পাৰ্টত সোমাই দিছে? ওকে, বেছিক ষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ এটা ডক্ট্ৰিনৰ বহুতকেইটা ক্লজেছ আছে। চ' কোনটো কেছত জুডিচিয়েল ৰিভিউ ৱাজ মেড আ পাৰ্ট অফ দি বেছিক ষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ মোক ক'ব পাৰিলে আই উইল বি হেপী এণ্ড আই উইল এপ্লড ইউ বেচিকেলি টু ৰিমেম্বাৰ দিছ ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট থিং অফ জুডিচিয়েল ৰিভিউ। ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয় এইবিলাক, জানিব লাগে। ওকে, বহুত ফেমাছ কেছ, ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট কেছো হয়। চ' এতিয়া ইয়াতে কোৱা গৈছে কি maintaining the constitutionality of the nation. The constitution does not mention the term judicial review, but several articles give the Supreme Court and High Courts the power to maintain the nation's constitutionality, such as ki hobo? First ki kole supremacy of the constitution, very important. Judicial review confirms the supremacy of the constitution as the primary law of the land, very important. Okay, basic structure mechanism. Judicial review helps in maintaining the basic structure of the constitution by holding the laws, order, constitution unconstitutional which are not in line with the original philosophy of the constitution. Okay, so আজি আমাৰ তাত concept of law আছে. It may be procedure established by law, it may be due process of law, though India follows the procedure established by law. So judicial review has got important functions. Okay, it may be in relation for the protection of the constitution, it may be against the encroachment by the government. Okay, so judicial review jitu mo khudisulu tumaloke comments dia nai yat. So judicial review is considered to be a part of the basic structure of the constitution under the Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan case of 1975. Please remember, Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan case of 1975. A case to under judicial review was made what? No, it is not Kesabanan. Under this particular case, it was made a part of the basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Okay, so we know about this. So আজি আমাৰ বহুত types of judicial review আছে. We can see the review of legislative actions, review of administrative actions. So এইবিলাক আছে আমাৰ বহুত ধৰণৰ আমাৰ judicial review, judicial review হয়. Okay, so these things are very important. Yes, Pavitra, yes, very good. Okay, this is the correct option which you have said now. Okay, so আজি যদি আমি ইয়াতে আৰু কথা কওঁ basic structure আগত independence of judiciary. So যদি মই আজি কওঁ the organs of government, we know about the executive, we know about the legislature, we also have got the judiciary. এতিয়া আমি জানো যে whenever we are saying about independence of judiciary তাতে কি কি আছে? What does this contain? We know that we have got a strict separation, not so strict, but still we say that we have got a separation of powers. And under this separation of power, we can see that we have got an independent as well as integrated judiciary. Independent mane ki? No interference with respective to executive and legislature. Judiciary nijake perform kore. Aru integrated mane ki? Supreme Court, High Court, District Court and other lower courts. Everyone is accountable to each other. And the highest and the apex body is basically the Supreme Court. Hetu ami sobe jano. So etu kane ami ki koi asu? Independent and integrated in nature. Integrated mane everyone is accountable to the other. Okay, so আজি why there is a importance of judicial review? Because we know that it is essential for maintaining the supremacy of the constitution. It is very much protecting the rights of the people. It maintains the federal balance and also it requires for securing the independence of judiciary. Okay, so etu karone aji yate independence of judiciary kotha koa ase. Okay, then federalism kotha koise. Judicial review has helped in promotion of federalism of the constitution by helping and resolving disputes between center state and interstate, thus promoting cooperation and competitive federalism. Example, provisions of the 97 Act were held unconstitutional for violation of federal provision. Federal provisions mane ki India is a union of states rather than being a federation of states, but still we can say India to be a quasi federal state. Zot nizor powers kini center e delegate kore kak to the respective states. And therefore we can directly say India to be a federation. Okay, বুঝি পাই আছা সবে? If anyone who is new to this particular sessions, you can please subscribe to us at CSAP Academy. Okay, and you can also click the notification bell to get the live updates about when these sessions will be live. Okay, everyone give a thumbs up whoever is hearing. সবে বুঝি পাই আছা বস্তুবিলাক কি কৈ আছো, কি ডিসকাশন চলি আছে? All good? Next কৈ আছে due process of law. The power of judicial review is an apparatus to ensure that due process of law is followed, which enacting laws and does also promotes the rule of law. Example, judicial review of Aadhaar Act of 2016. Okay, so there is a classification of the due process of law alongside the procedure established by law. Due process of law ki hoy? So we can say it is a doctrine that not only checks if there is a law that is depriving the life and personal liberty of a person, but also ensures that the laws is made fair and just. Tar upor, if I say about procedure established by law, it means that a law is enacted by legislature or the concerned body is valid only if the correct procedure of the law has been followed by the latter. So এই কিছুমান আমাৰ situations আছে where India follows the procedure established by law, we do not follow the due process of law. Okay, so আজি you can say that due process of law is also a very important term where the judiciary is basically associated in making the cases very much visible and very much fair justice needs to be provided under the ambit of due process of law. তাৰ ওপৰত fundamental rights কথা আছে. Judicial review ensures that the laws policies are not in violation of fundamental rights of citizens. Example, section 377 of IPC decriminalized recently. মোক কোৱাচোন, what is section 377 of IPC? তোমালোকে participate কৰা কি হয়? What is section 377 of IPC? কো পাৰিবা? I haven't completed the syllabus yet, can I answer writing? Yes, obviously. এতিয়া যদি এনেকে ভাবি থাকা ন, many people in the last year, okay, they don't know about what to write, what not to write. They don't know properly about the syllabus. Still today, they are selected amongst the 913 candidates. Yatke motivation mo tumalok aru ki dim. You cannot get a more motivation like this again. Okay, if you wants to even meet that person also, I can make you meet that person personally. Okay, he was my student at some point of time, and therefore I have guided it well through. All these questions, all this question series he has followed dedicatedly, okay, in the last year. Okay, so hebilak sai meli he now has tried to his level best to clear of this exam and become an officer under the APSC. Okay, so aji these questions will be, if you follow this dedicatedly, write down the year, write down this months, April, May, June, Tinima, this 3 months, if you follow these questions religiously, and also if you wants to go ahead with more number of questions, you can go ahead and buy the series of us, test series of us, where you can go ample number of questions with suggestions from the faculties, where you can write a good amount of questions and then you can master the art of answer writing. So don't worry about the syllabus, just go ahead and start preparing for your answer writing sessions. Okay, তাৰপিছত মোক ক'ব লাগে তোমালোকে নকলা 377 কি হয়? section 377 very important. Please go ahead in answering 377. What is actually section 377 of the IPC? Netot search mari holo কোৱা তোমালোকে. Yes, I want more answers. Section 377 কি হয়? I want more answers. So এইবিলাক বস্তু বহুত বেছি লাইক ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয়. বহুত বেছি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয় because these things are very important things. So section 377 is basically related to kernel intercourse. Very very important এইবিলাক বস্তু এই ডিসিশনস বিলাক বেছি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হৈ যায় okay kernel intercourse okay so limited powers of the parliament ইয়াত কলো মই কথাটো তাৰপিছত rectifying machinery it is a severely helpful in rectifying the errors made by legislative administrative bodies laws thus perpetuating social equilibrium of society কালি পৰহি যদি পাৰ্লিমেণ্টে কিবা এটা ল বনাই আছে আৰু সেই লটোত কিবা এটা ভুল হল তো তাক চেক কৰিবলৈ কোন ৰখি আছে জুডিশিয়াৰী ৰখি আছে so under judicial review they will directly rectify the mistakes done by the legislature or the executive to tar karone judicial review is very very important okay so thus judicial review is an important tool to enforce the checks and balances provided in the constitution and to ensure that the constitution remains the highest law of the land where every organ of the state complement and supplement each other okay yes so aru eta bostu yate mo koi diu so today if you wants to have a thorough analysis of your answer writing sessions amar dedicatedly answer writing sessions ase jot moi tumalokor logot discuss korim about the schedule but please know that you can register directly on the registration form given below also if you have any doubts related to the respective course you can call us via our number 9127515541 very very important okay যদি তোমালোকক further details কিবা লাগে in relation to our respective test series or various ethics or essay related courses you can tell us by our number 9127515541 ঠিক আছে all good কি কৈছে ইয়াতে analyze the necessity for domestic manufacturing of battery energy storage system BESS in India how recently launched the viability gap funding scheme can help overcome the challenges in their development কি কৈছে ব্যাটারি এনার্জি স্টোরেজ সিস্টেম কি হয় এটা একটা একদম ক্রিটিক্যাল টেকনোলজি হয় it represents a critical technology in the modern energy landscape which is pivotal for enhancing the efficiency and reliability of the power grid and even facilitating the integration of various renewable energy sources okay so azi we all know that India has set a target to achieve 50% cumulative installed capacity from non fuel based energy sources by 2030 ami janu etu bostu okay and also it has pledged what to reduce the emission intensity of its GDP by around 45% by what 2030 very very important okay aru etu kuntu levels ot 2005 levels ot এইবিলাক certain important things হয় okay এইবিলাক বস্তু শুনি লবা তোমালোকে যদি পাৰিছা লিখি লবা okay মই extra information কিছুমান দি আছো which needs to be very much important okay so cumulative install capacity India কিমান বহাব খুজিছে 50% okay কেতিয়ালৈকে 2030 লকে okay and also it has pledged to reduce the emission intensity of its GDP by 45% by 2030 and based on 2005 levels important বহুত important হয় okay মনত ৰাখিবা এইবিলাক বস্তু okay very important so etia battery energy storage system okay ki hoy it is using rechargeable batteries to store energy from multiple sources the government of India has approved the scheme for viability gap funding for the battery energy storage system industry and the goal is to develop 4000 MWh of BESS projects by 2030-31 okay so etia jodi moi eta word ko that is known as VGF viability gap funding ki hoy to VGF what is VGF viability gap funding bostu to hoy ki it means a grant to support projects that are economically justified but not financially viable ki kolo moi VGF or viability gap funding means a grant to support projects that are economically justified but they are not financially viable বুজি পালা বস্তুটো কি কলো economically justified financially not viable কিহৰ কাৰণে এতিয়া চোৱা মই যদি এটা এক্সাম্পল দিও তোমালোকক about VGF if I say about VGF supposedly a project in northeastern India needs 100 crore A project in northeastern India needs 100 crore. ঠিক আছে? And today we are working in PPP mode, মানে public private partnership. So government কৈছে যে আমাক 100 কোটি টকা লাগে এটা project complete কৰিবলৈ, supposedly project 1 100 কোটি টকা লাগে. Under the PPP model আমি জানো যে maybe the ratios are there, okay, য'ত ratio to share হ'ব পাৰে. It may be 60:40, it may be 90:10, ratio share হ'ব পাৰে. Supposedly এটা company আহিলে, private company আহি পেলাই কি ক'লেহি যে মই 70 কোটিহে দিব পাৰিম, 70 crore. I am in a lacuna of 30 crore. So এই 30 crore to actually কোনে দিব লাগে? Government দিব লাগে under the PPP model. But government will wait. আৰু এখন টেন্ডাৰ পৰিলে য'ত second company কৈছে যে মই 80 crore দিম, তেতিয়া হলে 20 crore কোনে দিব? Government দিব. 100 crore হ'ব লাগে. So this 30 crore, 20 crore আৰু এটা যদি মই third company লৈ আছো যোনে 90 crore দি আছে আৰু 10 crore government দি আছে. So that means what? A 30 crore, 20 crore আৰু 10 crore to কি হয়? Viability gap funding. মানে ইহঁতৰ ওচৰত 90 crore আছে বাট প্ৰজেক্টটো কমপ্লিট কৰিবলৈ 100 কোটি টকা লাগে. So 10 কোটি টকা কোনে দিব? গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে দিব. Obviously he will win the bid. কাৰণ গভৰ্ণমেণ্টে বিচাৰে যে যিমান পইচা কম খৰচ হয় আমাৰ সিমানে ভাল. Because obviously they will collect it from the respective entities. Okay, supposedly আজি যদি ৰাস্তা বনাই দিও, so ৰাস্তা বনাই দিয়াৰ লগে লগে tolls লৈ পেলাই they will collect the respective taxes. Okay, হেতু দি পেলাই তাহাঁতে ডাইৰেক্টলি কালেক্ট কৰি ল'ব যিমানখিনি তাহাঁতৰ খৰচ গ'ল. So at some point of time I can directly say that এই যে 10 কোটি টকাটো কম হৈ গ'ল, এই 10 কোটি টকা 20 কোটি টকা বা 30 কোটি টকা যে কম হৈ গ'ল হেতুকে আমি কি কৈ আছো? Viability gap funding. So এই কাৰণে viability gap funding or viability gap finance means a grant to support the projects that are economically justified but not financially viable. মানে financially তাহাঁত ইমান strong নহয় to start the respective project. So this scheme is designed, okay, this scheme is designed under various heads where we have to focus upon the areas where we need to be focused upon. It is why it is designed under the plan scheme to be administered under the Ministry of Finance. Okay, and also an amount in the budget are made on a year to year basis. Okay, at a year to year basis 2024 কিমান 25 কিমান 26 কিমান এটা yearly basis এটা respective finance administered হৈ যায়. Okay, and it is basically denied by the Ministry of Finance. ঠিক আছে? বুজিলো বস্তুটো? So ইয়াতে কি আহি গ'ল? First, huge potential demand. আমি জানো storage marketত বহুতখিনি ডিমান্ড বাঢ়ি গৈ আছে আৰু যেটো আমাৰ টাৰ্গেট আছে তাৰ কাৰণে আমি সাৰপাস কৰিব লাগিব. Job creation. India battery manufacturing vision aims to recreate more than 2.6 million jobs by 2035. Very, very important. 2.6 million jobs. And the domestic BES manufacturing sector offers significant employment opportunities and contributes to the nation's socio-economic development. Tabsot investment attraction. India's battery manufacturing vision aims to attract $35 billion in investments by 2035, and domestic BES manufacturing could lead to significant economic growth and technological advancements. Reducing import dependency. Jimane ami besi produce korim, import ami himane kom korim. And it is basically good for the respective trade deficit today that we have with some of the respective countries. So tar karno amar important hoy about the reducing the import dependency. It is the India relies on imports from China and Hong Kong for 70% of its lithium ion cell needs. Z2 through BESS we can directly have a self-sufficient of this particular element. Okay, hetu amar karone bahut basic important hoy jay. Tabsot environmental advantages. Domestic BES manufacturing aligns with environmental objectives, helping reducing air pollution in urban areas and meets India's COP26 target. মোক কোৱাচোন COP26 কোনখন কান্ট্ৰিত হৈছিলে? মোক কোৱা তোমালোকে COP26 কোনখন কান্ট্ৰিত হৈছিলে? ভেৰি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট. ওকে, আৰু এটো কোন? ইউনাইটেড নেশ্যন ফাণ্ড ফৰ ক্লাইমেট চেঞ্জ. ভেৰি ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট. তাৰপিছত ৰিডিউচিং ট্ৰেড ডেফিচিট, যিটো মই ক'লো ইম্পৰ্টাৰ অফ লিথিয়াম আয়ন বেটাৰিজ, আৰু ইন 2021-22 ইণ্ডিয়া ইম্পৰ্টেড rupees 8,811 crore worth of lithium ion cells and rupees 173 crore of lithium, and by domestic manufacturing India can save this valuable foreign exchange. And if India can save this particular valuable exchange, then India could leverage its money for the development of the Indian economy. Okay, তাৰপিছত challenges faced in this particular sector কি হ'ব raw material availability আমাৰ ওচৰত নাই one of the greatest challenges তাৰপিছত কি আছে technology and material science limited technology আছে okay আজিলৈকে ভালকে ট্ৰান্সফাৰ হোৱা নাই okay so তাৰ কাৰণে আমি এক্সপাৰ্টাইজ কৰিব পৰা নাই lack of research and development another challenge is a lack of quality R&D infrastructures for advanced cell and battery manufacturing বহুত বেছি important impact on lead acid technology a boom in the lithium ion battery manufacturing market could disrupt the livelihoods of players in the supply chain of lead acid technology so আজি এই যেটো টেকনলজি আহিছে lead acid battery manufacturers may face increased competition and the need to adapt the changing market dynamics তো আজি যেটো lead acid battery আমি ইউজ কৰি আছো এই যিখিনিয়ে প্ৰডিউস কৰিছে যিখিনিয়ে সেল কৰিছে so obviously they will face challenges to directly transfer them from this to the conditions of BESS so তাৰ কাৰণে আমি কিছুমান আমি কিছুমান challenges বোৰ মিট কৰিবলে we have to focus much more towards the ambit of the transfer তাৰপিছত competition with Chinese imports তো আজি আমাৰ Chinese imports খুব বেছি আছে Chinese imports are very cheap as compared to the Indian products তো তাৰ কাৰণে হেতু আমি এবাৰ চাব লাগিব about the market conditions how we can tackle this okay so all these things are very important in terms of their respective challenges তাৰপিছত water intensity so a battery manufacturing process বিলাক কি হয় water বেছি লাগে বহুত বেছি লাগে and today in our cities like Bangalore we are seeing water crisis okay and in various regions of the country we are seeing water crisis তো যিমানে water intensive hobo হিমানে আমাৰ কাৰণে পানী বেছি লাগিব okay and that is basically you can see that the extraction of 1 metric ton of lithium can consume approximate 5 lakh gallons of water which is a very huge quantity very huge quantity okay yes very good Glasgow Scotland very good so he karone ami yate ami okoman chinta koribo laga hoise তাৰপিছত shortage of skill workforce এবিলাক কৰিবলে বহুত skill workforce লাগে ইয়াত বেছি semi skill হলো নহব unskilled তো দৰকাৰে নাই semi skill হলো নহব তো এক skill লাগে তো skilled workers or shortage আমাৰ বহুত বেছি shortage আছে because you can see that the EV sector is projected to require 15000 engineers in the next 2 years but only 1000 engineers are currently employed in the field which is a very good shortage of around 14000 okay আৰু লাষ্টত হাই কষ্ট এতিয়াও আমাৰ যিবিলা ব্যাটাৰি ম্যানুফ্যাকচাৰিং ইউনিটস হয় ব্যাটাৰিজ বিলাক হয় আজি যদি মই এখন ইভি ভেহিকল কিনিবলৈ যাওঁ okay if I wants to go and buy an EV vehicle obviously it is very costlier as compared to a petrol and a diesel vehicle okay so etu eta amar directly factor ahi jay about the high cost okay so viability gap funding ki hoy yate moi bhalke bujai disu and how these schemes can overcome battery manufacturing challenges financial support dibo pare government commitments cost reduction okay tar pisot you can see distribution company participation jimane discoms bilake participate koribo himane the rates will slowly decrease okay tar pisot battery diversity supported so Indian BES market is diverse with various battery types and connection options and the VGF schemes accommodates multiple battery types including lithium ion lead and acid flow and other fostering innovation and encouraging diversity within the industry so etu eta amar directly important terms hoy in associated with the ambit of BESS okay very important bujilo bostuto so despite challenges India's battery manufacturing sector is on the track for transformation thanks to initiatives such as the viability gap funding scheme and with the government commitment for an investments and innovation the future looks bright for sustainable energy and economic growth so sob answers bilakote tumalke dekhisa je moi eta properly model answerot yate dhuniya ke moi eta intro disu jikhini khudise body part or moi bostuto likhisu and lastly I am concluding with a conclusion and this thing is a very important part of your answer writing কোনবাই যদি স্টার্ট কৰিছে এতিয়া এই বস্তুটো আমি হ্যাবিট বনাই লব লাগিব যে how you can directly make your answer very much readable very much pleasable in front of the respective examiner because examiner tomar na mukhon chini pai na personally chini pabo so obviously through your answer writings only the examiner will judge you and your respective art okay so very important all good thike ase sob buji pai asa sob anyone who has come new who is watching now so please directly subscribe to the CSAP Academy button okay okay what is conscience in what way can parents in a virtual environment raise their children with conscience conscience mane ki hoy moi jodi ohomet kobole jao it is something which is known as bibek ami amak je ketiba koy je tur bibeke nu ki koise hetue hoy ase ki conscience boli okay so conscience is basically what? It is basically an intrinsic capacity to discriminate between right and wrong. ভাল বেয়াৰ মাজত ভিতৰৰ পৰা যদি কিবা এটা আৱাজ আহে আমি হেতুকে কি বুলি কৈ আছো হেতুকে আমি কৈ আছো conscience বুলি বিবেক বুলি okay and therefore the something which is known as inner voice is very much important for the judgments that we need to provide for every form of activities which is going around in and around us. So therefore conscience helps them take emotional intelligence decisions by not letting them sway with emotional dominating cases. So example, if I say about taking judgments in lines with the rule of law in cases involving rich and poor tussle. Kun shuddha kun bhul ba kun dukhiya kun dhoni tar majot jodi moi eta judgment lobo lage at some point of time it would be difficult for me to take the respective decision. So tate jodi moi eta emotionally intelligent hoi pelai moi jodi nijor conscience to apply koru I can directly say that I will be taking a good ethical decision. So hetuke yate conscience boli koa goise mainly bibek manhor. So eta ki koise every human being possesses conscience which is an intimated incorruptible and variable faculty. Putting differently, conscience is a person's true self and source of advice which has a voice and is a trustworthy source. An individual is ethically guided by the inner voice which informs them what is right or wrong. So here the main word to ki hoy etu very very important word which is directly in relation to conscience. Very very important word. Okay budisa bostu bilak ki koi asu moi all good ঠিক আছে so next কি আহিলে you can see this one self conscious emotions conscience moral reasoning empathy এই গুটে গিটাৰে মাজৰ যিখিনি পোৰশন হয় অলপ সলপকে হেতুকে আমি কি বুলি কৈ আছো conscience বুলি কৈ আছো moral reasoning empathy and self conscious emotions empathy মানে কি হয় what is empathy empathy বুলিবলে আমি কি বুজো there is a thing which is known as sympathy as well as empathy. So empathy is generally described as the ability to take on another's perspective to understand, feel and possibly share and respond. Tahator jikhini experience, tahator jikhini perspective, hetuk jodi bhalke buzi pelai, tumi jodi respond kori asa, that means you are showing empathy. Aji ejon manue tumar agot kandi ase. You are here, okay, there are two persons, so this is you, tumar agot bohi bla kandi ase, tumi jodi logote bohi kanda arambho kori dia, that means you are showing what? Sympathy. But tumi jodi ter conditions to buzi pelai, tumi nijoke control kori pelai, you are trying to analyze the situation, eto tumi ki kori asa? Empathy. Okay, crucial difference between these two. So hetuke mo kolu the empathy is generally described as the ability to take on another's perspective to understand, feel and probably share and respond to their experience. Okay, so that is known as what? Empathy. Bahut khini importantly amar yate factor eta ahi jay about sympathy, empathy, even showing compassion to others. Okay, so ei bostu bilak important hoy. Ei bostu bilak bahut important hoy. তো ইয়াতে যদি মই এটা তোমালোকক হায়াৰাৰ্কি দেখাব যাও তো ইয়াতে ফাৰ্স্ট কি আহে পিটি ফিলিং পিটি তাৰপিছত আহিব ফিলিং সিম্পেথাইজড সিম্পেথাইজৰ ওপৰত আহিব এম্পেথি আৰু লাষ্টত আহিব কি কম্পেশন লাষ্টত আহিব কম্পেশন ওকে সো PSEC feeling pity feeling sympathized feeling empathized and feeling compassionate very important. Okay, so here bostuke yate discuss kora goise. So ki kolu it's a blend of morality, self awareness and self analytic ability that separates rationality from blind belief or rage. So the challenge to conscience is the noise around us, the noise of confusion, ignorance, beliefs, notions, power, dogmas, upbringing, pressure and other temptations. And in the midst of that noise one will have to learn to heed to the voice of conscience. Okay, yat gute khini mo definition di thoi disu bhalke. Etia যিখিনি আমাৰ ইস্যুজ আছে related to children's exposure to the virtual world. Yata mainly ki hor kotha koise moral empathy versus digital. So children between the age of 0 and 7 are extremely adaptable, and their life's experience, which largely depend on their parents, have a significant impact on their subconscious mind. So a bosortu bhitorot parents e keneke treat kore child lok etu tahator mindset out bahut impact kore. Being a role model is more difficult in the modern era due to children's exposure to digital platforms, which makes them more vulnerable. Aji jodi moi ko jao 0 to 7 bosor bhitorot a person or a small child, he knows every variability of a mobile phone. Mobile phone to lock keneke khulibo lage, mobile phone to call keneke koribo lage, mobile phone to skip at keneke koribo lage, mobile phone to ketia ki game install koribo lage, kor pora install koribo lage, ei bostu bilak bahut bhalke jane. Okay, janen nai? Yes or no? Whoever is listening, if you have got some of your brothers, or if you have got some of your sisters, or it may be if you have got some of your cousin brothers or sisters, okay, or you have got your basically bhotija bhagin, so tumalake dekhisa sage ei bostu tu je aji tekhetokole jeneke bostu bilak use kore, mobile phones bor use kore, he ami jodi amar nijor backs to amar ejole jao, then obviously we can say that they are more advanced as compared to us. Aji tekhetokole bahut beshi bostu jane kisuman khetrot, okay, at a very tender age of 0 to 7. Okay, children today are exposed to digital media before they are even born, with the parents using digital media during the gestation period. However, that is just the start of the digital infiltration, which affects the way a child thinks and reacts. Thanks to the constant viewing of the screen, the ability to feel and respond in real time takes a beating, as the brain is aware that it is the virtual world. Okay, so these things are very important whenever you are directly saying about the relation between the children and digital media. Okay, so right during the gestation period, during the time of the pregnancy, a mother always watch the respective TV, or she is using the mobile. So at some point of time, they are very much accompanied with the respective digital. They are already introduced to that particular thing. Okay, so e bostu tu ami tetiye hikaye anu. So the boundaries between what is right and evil are blurred by this virtual connection, which breaks the connection of empathy in real life. While digital technology can be beneficial and facilitates interactive learning, it is always best to avoid using it with children younger than 2 years and to allow it in moderation of older children. Okay, so these things are very important whenever you are discussing about. So you can see at the Hindu recently UNESCO endorses banning smartphones from schools. Okay, yare ki koise, the UN body Global Education Monitoring Report 2020 title, Technology in Education, a tool on whose terms has endorsed banning smartphones in schools in situations where technology integration does not improve learning or of it worsens student well-being. Jiman tumi basically mobile use koraba, jiman basic mobile use koribo, at some point of time it will be difficult for us to even control this child from getting very much accustomed with this particular mobile phones. So azikali ami dekhisu mobile phones lo kiman basically accustomed hoy thake, and this is the reason why we can say that every time we can see a child falling under the prey of various number of digital transactions. Okay, so as digital transactions hok aru tumaloke probably whoever has heard the thing which is known as the game which is known as blue whale, hunisane bostotu ki asile blue whale. It was a game where the gamer at the last directly goes and choose the option of suiciding. Hunisa etu tumaloke blue whale tu? Okay, etu bahut famous hoisile eta time. Okay, so at a time bahut famous hoisile, we can see that blue whale is a very important thing associated with this digital media thing. Okay, etu digital media through the link ahisile, and therefore we can see that in such amount these things are very very important. Okay, so এই বস্তুটো ব্লু whale আসিলে. So এতিয়া আমি এই ব্লু whale টো আজি যদি বাচ্চা বিলাকে মোবাইল লৈ মানে কাস্টম নহলতেন, দেন এবিলাক গেমৰো কোনো এটা ইন্ট্ৰোডাকশন নহলহেতেন. Okay, আৰু যাৰ কাৰণে আমি বহুতখিনি লৰা ছোৱালী সেভ কৰিব পাৰিলোহেতেন. Okay, so এই বস্তুটো এটা আমাৰ ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট ব্ৰেক হয় which we needs to have, and we needs to have to control, আৰু এটো কোনে কৰিব? Obviously parents এ কৰিব লাগিব. Okay, so এইটো কাৰণে আজি এনেকুৱা ৰিপৰ্টছ বোৰো আমাৰ সন্মুখত আহে. Okay, আৰু তাৰ ওপৰত এনেও দেখিবা যে because of this more use of mobile phones or smartphones, the small children are falling prey to various number of pornographic contents. Okay, pornographic content. Okay, so everyone can be determined to be an 18+. So 18 plus to mari dile, they will be directly getting access to the pornographic content. Aru tar karone we can see more number of crimes associated with child. Okay, bahut khini ami tenuka juvenile cases dekha pao. Okay, so parents role to help germinate conscience ki koribo lagibo. Parents playing a crucial role. They needs to have a role model. Adults must address their behavior and communication to prevent negativity from impacting their children's learning. Okay, parents should form a strong bond. Okay, আজি যদি আমি কওঁ যে আজি যদি আমি intimacy, okay, but if you talk about sex in our family, then obviously it is seen as a taboo. So ami eto otrabo lagibo olop. Okay, we need to be friends with the children so that we can control them and we can see that how our bonding could make this person eliminate every form of danger, eliminate every form of depression that she or he has got in his personal life. Okay, tar uprot you can see parents should form a strong bond with their children. Jitu kolu, early rectification is essential as children learn from their mistakes and decisions as they grow into teenagers. Judi ejon lora teenager hobole dhore, basically in the age group of 10 to 14 years. Okay, etu age group to eta bahut hyper age group hoy. Okay, jot besi okora type or hoy. Okay, they becomes very much of reluctant to hearing something associated with the guardian. Okay, aru etu time ote bahut beya hoy. So a time to jodi ami tekhethokolor majot bhalke rectify kori pele tekhethokolok jodi ami agbohai nibo paru, it is a good for the society. So ekane koise early rectification essential as children learn from their mistakes and decisions as they grow into teenagers. So tekhetokole nijor bhulor porai tekhetokole jetia teenagers hole agbahi jabo tekhetokole himan khini bharata options loi agbahi jabo paribo. So parents should give children control freedom to make choices, fail and learn. Okay, fail buli kole ami janu first attempt in learning. Okay, so e bostuto ami aji jodi bhabi pelai jodi aji ami as a guardian, if we totally see that no fail hole hol to thik ase, even if you fail you can still succeed in your life. So that is the motivation, that is the environment that we should create instead of beating him black and blue. Hebilak koribo na lage. Okay, so ei bostu bilak ami sabo lagibo. Then they should provide a safety net for children to learn lessons for the future where they may not be around. Kali porhi bahirot pohibole gusi gol jot parents nai, so tetio je bhal hoi thakibole tar ki mana ase tor kar karone ami ki koribo lagibo, we have to build and germinate some of the conscience amongst the children. Tapsot, as parents, it is essential to raise their own awareness and become more conscious of their own emotional wounds. Inculcating good values during this time is crucial for the betterment of their children. Jimane ami bhal values imbibe korim, himane children jonor besi labh hobo, children jonor besi tarakki hobo, children jone besi homely feel koribo, aru tetia tekhethoe besi ghorot thaki pelai কথা বিলাক ঘৰতে ডিসকাস কৰিব না কি হে কথাবোৰ পাহৰিবলে তেখেতে কিছুমান বেয়া মিন্স লয়. Okay, maybe drugs, maybe cigarettes, maybe alcohol, to hebilak noloy jate. Okay, so these things are very important once you are directly associating as a parent. Okay, so the right path to growth ki hobo, a parent can love the child unconditionally and accept them wholeheartedly, sense any judgment. After all, a child with great self-esteem and self-love quotient who is empowered with a spiritual practice is not vulnerable to bad decisions. So the initial stages are meant to provide unconditional love and acceptance right from the pregnancy stage. Keeping the parent-child relationship as a bidirectional one instead of hierarchical, it is important to remain connected so that when the child grows up, it is easy to step in what he needs or what he doesn't need. So jimane moi separation koribole sam, himane ki hobo, himane the relations between child and the parent will increase and child le bhoy koribo parent ok kiba eta kotha kobole. So instead, if you try to be friends at some point of time, it will be very much good for their mental health. তেখেতসকলৰ মেণ্টেল হেলথৰ কাৰণেও এই বস্তুটো ভাল যাতে তাহাঁতে কালি পঢ়ি কিবা এটা যদি প্ৰব্লেম হয় আমাক কয় and we as a mature guardian we try to solve that particular problem at ease. Okay, so তাতে কৈছে above all this the most important thing is to grow an individual for the parent to set the right of role model for a child in a physical, mental, emotional, spiritual and psychological sense. So এই বস্তুটো লাগিব so that we can make a child very much free from any form of depression or tensions that he may have in his lifetime. Okay, so এই কথাটোকে কৈছে under this particular question number 4. Okay, বুজি পালা সবে, সব ঠিকে আছে, all good, শুনি আছা, এবাৰ হাই দি দিয়া সবে, raise a hand. Okay, coming to the last question of today. Coming to the last question of today. Ki hoy? Draw a pen picture of Kali Ram Medhi. Personalities. Ahibo ebilak questions. Bahut important hoy. Kali Ram Medhi. Kun asile tekhet? He was a prominent linguist, writer, and a person who has given contribution to both Assamese as well as English literature. Okay, and he was the first president of the he was not the first, third president, sorry. He was the third president of even the Ahom Sahitya Sabha. Okay, late in 1919, which was held in Borpeta. Okay, so he was born on 18th of October 1880 and he died on 24th January 1954. Okay, kot janmo paisile tekhete paisile Ramdia in Kamrup district. Muk koasun Ramdia kihor karone famous? Ramdia Kamrup district dot kihor karone famous? Muk koa tumaloke. Okay, so etu bahut important hoy. Boria, thike ase. So ki kolu? Kaliram Medhi was a prominent linguist, writer and essayist from Assam who wrote in both Assamese and English languages in the early part of the modern Assamese literature. Kolu already. Third president of the Ahom Sahitya Sabha, Koiso 1919, held at Borpeta. Honored with Rai Bahadur title in 1946. Versatile Assamese short story writer and professor of physics, Surendra Nath Medhi, better known by his pen name Saurabh Kumar Soliha, was his son. Very important, very important these things. Okay. Tabsot, Medhi was born at Ramdia village near Haju of Kamrup district of Phukali Medhi and Sontara Medhi. After primary education at his village, he did his higher education at Guwahati at City College of Calcutta, earning his BA before achieving the remarkable feat of obtaining MA in physics from Presidency College. Very important. Okay, very important. Okay, gita ami janibo lage. Tabsot, despite aspirations for the ICS exam, Indian Civil Service. Okay, muk tumaloke nokola Ramdia kihor karone famous? Very important. Kaliram Medhi path led him to government services as a sub-deputy collector, yet his true calling lay in the realm of letters. His essays and writings in Junaki and the Assam Research Society shed light on Assamese literature and culture. Pandit Medhi took his last breath in Panbazar, Guwahati in the year of 1954. His son Surendra Nath Medhi became a famous Assamese writer under the pseudonym Kibuli Saurabh Kumar Soliha. Very important. Ebilak janibo lage Saurabh Kumar Soliha. And was awarded Sahitya Academy Award in Assamese in 1974. Okay, 1974. So below are some of his literary works. Ki ase? His Assamese books are Ohomia Bhashar Mool, Ohomia Byakaron, okay, aru Bhasha Tattva, Mahapurush Shankardev Bani, Onkowali, Part 1, Prahlad Charitra, and various more. Tabsot, in English he wrote what? Kalitas, Brajavali literature of Assam, philosophic aspects of the Assamese Brajavali literature, origin of Assamese drama, studies in the Vaishnava literature and culture of Assam. To ek gute khini tekhete nijor life ot contribute korisile in the art of what? Assamese as well as English literature. Okay, so very important. Very importantly, he was the person who contributed a lot to the Assamese and English literature. Okay, curd, doi niki? Yes, very important. Doi hoy. Doi cream ebilak lo bahut important. Gakhiro jikhini products, okay, hekhini Ramdiat bahut famous hoy. Okay, so hetu bostu ami sobe janu. Okay, eta bihu season ahi ase. Eta Ramdiar doi ba Ramdiar jitu cream hoy hetu bahut besi famous hoy jay. Okay, so aru bahute teneke buli koi pelai bahute thogeo de. Hetu be careful. যে Ramdiar doi ba Ramdiar cream buli koi pelai bahute thogi die. Okay, so actually please be very sure that doi ba cream jetia ami lo, it should be from a proper vendor. Okay, so ekhini amar asile aji about the discussion of the 5 questions. So kihor karone to important hoy jay because it was the 145 birth anniversary of Kaliram Medhi. Okay, 145 birth anniversary. Okay, এই বছৰত. Okay, তেখেত জন্ম কেতিয়া পাইছিলে 18 অক্টোবৰ আৰু তেখেত ঢুকাইছিল কেতিয়া 24 জানুৱাৰী. Okay, 18 অক্টোবৰ কেতিয়া আছিল 1880 আৰু ঢুকাইছিলে 24 জানুৱাৰী 1954 at the age of 73. Okay, very important. Okay, so yate if you wants to get the discussion of this particular question paper in PDF format, you have to register now in the links that are given below. A2 amar 27 April or pura arambho hobo test series. Okay, test series 27 April পৰা আৰম্ভ হ'ব এটো গুটে টাইম শিডিউল তোমালোকক ভালকে দিয়া আছে টাইম দিয়া আছে ইয়াতে কেটাৰ পৰা কেটালে হ'ব কেটা সেকশনাল হ'ব okay you can see this is sectional we have got more than 27 number of sectional exams tar uporoto you can see full length exams e gute bilak exams hobo so if you wants to register on this particular test series okay both in online as well as offline mode tumaloke amak contact koribo para under this number 9127515541 okay very important etu tumaloke save kori lobo para if you have got any doubts you can call us via this particular number okay a gute series to gute timetable to bhalke likha ase tumaloke ketiba je tumaloke by chance time napala likhibole okay tumaloke pisotu under this particular heading you wants to write tumaloke paper khon pai jaba pisot tumaloke time ot he paper khon likhi amale forward kori diba under this mail you will get the greater analysis of this particular paper and also you will get the respective marks with comments je code improve koribo ase code improve koribo nai okay so very important so gute khini ase yat gs1 or pura okay gs1 or pura gs5 loke ase even essay ase okay ami essay discussion o bahut time korim keteba okay so this thing very important amar ketia pura arambho hoise 27 April for further details you just have to call us via our number okay very importantly so this is basically a paid course okay aru ami obviously ami ki anim jiblak pasta regularly ami hoday questions korim aji pa day 1 arambho hoise ami sobe discussion korim so ei discussions bur basically tumalukor like important hoi jay okay so pdf tumaluke as soon as you directly register from the link you will directly get the access to the pdf okay so kono problem nai apsc result ketia aibo apsc result before bihu ahi ase okay apsc result before bihu ahi ase answers may vary 10 mark ho ya 15 marks ho okay on the basis of the questions you can say it may be a 10 mark question it may be a 15 marks question okay ye hota rahega okay thik ase sob all good to yate aru eta bostu mo koi diu amar essay batch ase aru amar ethics batch ase okay so etu eta ei duta batch kalir pora amar arambho hoise 9 April if you wants to join and enroll in this particular case in this particular courses you can just get touch with the courses by calling our number aru yat dutate we can see that 3000 ate aji tumaloke ei duta course pai asa specifically an essay as well as an ethics batch okay so 3000 ate tumaloke pai asa aru tar uporoto tumaloke jodi eta mains oriented crash course koribo bisara online it is at 12000 and offline it is at just 25000 where we have good successful candidate rate in the last year APSC CCE exam okay so ekhini asile ajir bhitorot so tumaloke duta register kori pelai you can get access with this particular wonderful initiative of us okay so show our love from your side okay subscribing to our channel and also regularly and devotedly following the upcoming sessions of APSC mains intensive answer writing programs okay so that is all from today from my side so I am signing you off we'll meet you again on second day that is tomorrow with the same josh and with the same spirit okay so thank you all for today and all the best as well as good night